Alright, greetings. So here we have a Hudson solid state guitar amp from, it's hard to date, I'm guessing it's early 70s. I took it apart and looked through all of it. It was very clean, but there was no date stamps or serial numbers inside of any of the components that would be able to mark it to what date it is, but I guess these were made in the 70s. They're a solid state amp, which I guess was something to brag about back then. I don't know if you can see, but it says solid state right there. Sorry, I'm doing manual focus here. And it's a little tiny amp. It's small, it's really tiny. It's a small, lightweight amp, practice amp, very loud, not very loud at all. You would not want to go gigging with this one or go on stage with it. It's just a little practice amp, and I assume it's collectors, a collectible amp. It's certainly a conversation piece. I have a number of amps. I've collected amps for many years, and I've really never ran across this one. And a friend was at an estate sale and got it, and I just had to have it. So now it's time for me to let it go because I got too much stuff, and you know, it's a nice little amp. So here's how it sounds. It's kind of interesting. The way you turn it on is you turn on the tone knob. It's got 3 inputs, 1, 2, 3. They all work. The tone, and then it has a volume. This is the original knob. This is clearly not the original knob. When I got it, this was missing, so, and I can't source one of those. I don't know where, you'd probably go online to find one. But anyway, so it's got a tone and a volume, and let me plug it in, you can hear it. Not very loud. It's got a neat little tinny sound to it, so I guess it could be kind of a cool little blues amp. I heard harmonica players were miking into these to get their little overdrive effect. I don't know if that's true or not, but it makes sense. But anyway, turn it on. I'll turn on the lower volume at about mid-tone so you can hear the clean side of it, I guess. So anyway, sorry, I'm trying to hold my guitar too. And as you get a little louder, and you crank it up, and it's when you get the distortion out of it. So that's that. As far as how it sounds, all 3 inputs do work, and have a little bit different sound to them. This input 1 seems to be a little clean. Input 2 seems to be straight overdrive, and that may just be a component of number 3 sounds the same too. That may just because they're dirty. The volume knob probably could use a replacement. It's a little scratchy, though it's not doing it now. Just a 50K volume pot. But the cool thing about this amp, the really cool thing is when I got it, it had this is the original driver, just 6-inch driver. Let me see if I can get that better zoomed in, focused. Really, really small driver, and it was at the end of its life. The amp was half that loud, if that. And it really didn't have much tone at all. This is just original pot stamped or metal stamped paper cone driver, pretty cheap. And the really neat thing is that I had a 1977 Fender Vibro Champ Silverface amp that I had upgraded for someone, and I put all new tubes in it and stuff. And anyway, long story short, they wanted a new speaker, so I put a Weber driver in that. So I had a speaker, the driver from a 77 Fender Vibro Champ that, lo and behold, was the perfect fit, since it's pretty standard. But that's it. That's a driver out of a 1977 Fender Vibro Champ amp. So it's got this little amps. It is what it is, but hey, it's got a really cool vintage driver. And this speaker themselves had a little bit of a tear in the plastic, which is normal, or the paper, which is normal. You can't see it's actually underneath one of these little one of the metal pins down here. and that was repaired. It had a little, just a little tear, so that's been fixed a while ago, and I was going to do something with the speaker, and then this came along and it fit perfectly. So anyway, that's it. You can see the inside is very, very simple. Very lightweight, not loud. Like I said, you wouldn't want to go gigging. Wouldn't want to go on stage with this one, but it's a cool little practice amp, or it's a really cool bookshelf speaker amp that it can become a conversation piece for people who want to know what the heck that is. Never seen that before, but yeah, cool little amp. So anyway, there it is. A Hudson amp. I would assume, again, it's probably about 5 watts of output. Not much. That's it. Kind of unique. Thanks for watching.